Alright everybody, it is week 3 here in the ETA. This week, we're up against the rolling Spheals, coached by Adem. Adem and his brother Byram run a league together called the Spheal Gibble League. They also have a YouTube channel where they interview some of the coaches on their channel and go over some of the battles. I'll be sure to include a link below so you guys can check it out. Taking a look at the Spheals roster, they have a team of Chi-Yu, Zygarde, Scizor, Iron Hands, Blastoise, Florges, Kilowattrel, Orthworm, Sneasel Hisui, Wobbuffet, Bellossom, and Golem. As far as what Adem brings this week, I'm not entirely sure. I honestly think out of all the teams we've played so far this season, Adem's team is one of the more intimidating ones. There's many different combinations I could see coming on this team, but if I had to take a shot in the dark and guess the 6 we're going to be seeing tonight, it's going to have to be Zygarde, Florges, Chi-Yu, Wobbuffet, Kilowattrel, and Iron Hands. Zygarde, due to its great natural bulk and just all-around amazing stats, goes very well into my team. Due to its signature move, 1000 Arrows, it's able to hit our Pokemon that are even immune to ground types, such as Chimecho or Moltres. The first hit with 1000 Arrows knocks any Pokemon in the air out of the air, and it does neutral damage. Afterwards, it does super effective damage based on the type. So for Moltres, it would be a super effective move after the first time. It would remove our flying type and leave us as a fire type. Chimecho, it would just do good neutral damage. So there's not many things on our team that can switch into this powerful Pokemon, as well as it has the chance to set up Dragon Dances or even just be an annoying Bulkymon with Substitute and Glare. Florges is a really good special defensive wall. It's also a great Wish Passer, really good special defensive bulk, as well as a decent special attack stat. This is a Pokemon I could see coming against us, either being a special defensive wall due to its great natural bulk, or even a physical wall. You can run physical defense EVs to resist things like Lopunny or Dracozole. All around, I think Florges is just going to come in and prevent us from clicking the Dragon move on Zygarde and then wish up one of the Pokemon on Adem's team. Chi-Yu doesn't necessarily have the best matchup against us. However, I think if Adem is able to get Tyranitar out of our way, its typing fares very well against our team. You have your Dark Pulse moves to hit Pecharunt and Starmie, which are more weaker on the special side. And then of course you have your powerful fire moves to hit everything else on the team. All around, Chi-Yu is just a very scary special Pokemon. The only thing that truly stands in its way is Tyranitar, but if Tyranitar is not around, the fish could go loose and totally tear apart our team. Wobbuffet, I think, is an interesting bring because I think it takes care of that problem for Chi-Yu. You can bring in Wobbuffet on Tyranitar and trap it with the Shadow Tag ability. If you're running a Colbur Berry to take a Dark type move, or even just running max on your HP and defense, you'd probably be able to take a knockoff from Tyranitar. And then if Tyranitar is trapped in against Wobbuffet, it can just click counter against us and just guarantee a knockout and get it out of the way for Chi-Yu. The biggest threat I actually find on this team for us is going to be the Terra Kilowattrel. With Terra, Kilowattrel is a massive problem for our team. With the Choice Scarf set, it's faster than the entirety of our team, even Dracozole in the sand. It has the Volt Absorb ability to stop Voltbeak dead in its tracks, and if it runs a Terra Fairy type this week, it also prevents the Dragon type moves from being spammed against it, so it all around could just wall Dracozole. Another good reason for the Terra Fairy is to hit Tyranitar, which is again a special defensive wall. This way, if you're running the Terra Fairy, you can get more damage against it and just be all around annoying to our team. The last Pokemon I'm looking at is going to be Iron Hands. Iron Hands' great natural bulk allows it to take so many hits, even super effective hits. It has good coverage, especially for our ground types, which are both 4 times weak to ice with the move Ice Punch. It could also withstand some more hits to things that actually threaten it, such as Starmie if it's running an Assault Vest set, given its really good natural HP stat, and even just a few special defensive EVs. It takes Psychic from being a 1-hit KO to a 2-hit KO. For our team this week, I'm bringing Lopunny back off the bench. We're going to be running Close Combat, Fake Out, Triple Axle, and U-Turn, 80 HP, 252 attack, 176 speed with a Jolly nature. Close Combat and Fake Out are really good stab moves. If we can scout if Kilowattrel is actually Choice Scarfed, it'd be nice if we can get it low enough with our special walls, and then if we can knock it out with Fake fake out just to clean it up. That's always nice. Close combat hits a lot of things on this team pretty neutrally. And the triple axle is for Zygarde in case we see it with a substitute set. Best way we could break substitute and then hit it for big damage. We keep talking about them. So next up, we're going to have Tyranitar. We're going to be running an Assault Vest set with the ability Sandstream, 248 HP, 124 special attack, 100 special defense, and 36 speed with a modest nature. So as I mentioned before with Wobbuffet could shadow tag Tyranitar, lock it into that knockoff or crunch, whatever physical dark type move we have, and then hit us with a counter to knock us out. Well, Wobbuffet can't actually touch us if we're special because the only way it could is Mirror Coat, and since we are a dark type, we are not affected by a psychic move. Adam's team's also a lot more weaker to special attackers rather than physical attackers. If you took a look at that team, Zygarde, Scizor, Iron Hands, the whole lot, Orthworm, they're all physical walls. They're not really special walls. That's really just Florges' job. If we can actually bait one of those physical walls coming into Tyranitar thinking it's going to be able to handle it, we're running 4 really good coverage moves to hit a lot of things. We have Dark Pulse, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Power Gem. Dark Pulse and Power Gem are our stab moves. We have the Power Gem to hit Chi-Yu, as well as Kilowattrel, pre-Terra. Dark Pulse is pretty neutral on most things. And then we have the Ice Beam for Zygarde, and then we'll have the Flamethrower for Orthworm and Scizor. My plan is that we do get trapped by the Wobbuffet and catch it off guard. And then if Adem starts to worry or think he needs to get out of there, hopefully we can just chunk something for a good amount of damage, as well as using this to stop Kilowattrel and Chi-Yu. Dracozolt, Life Orb, Sand Rush, Bolt Beak, Dragon Claw, Flamethrower, Iron Tail, 252 attack, 12 special attack, 244 speed with a Jolly Nature. Although we're running a Jolly Nature, the 12 special attack still guarantees the Flamethrower will knock out Scizor, and I believe it's a 2-hit KO on Orthworm, but it's over 50%, which will stop Shed Tail, which is really nice. Either way, it'll hit those two for good damage. Bolt Beak, obviously, to hit most things on the team. Dragon Claw to hit Zygarde and some of the other things on this team. And then we have Iron Tail to catch the floor just in case it switches in, or the Kilowattrel if it is Terra Fairy. Dracozolt has not performed. That's pretty much where you could stop it. I was going to say not well, but he's just not performed this season. It has yet to do anything. We keep bringing it every week, so fingers crossed we can get this guy in here finally and he can kill someone. That's really all I'm looking for at this point with Dracozolt. Starmine's coming back off the bench. It's a super similar set to last week. It might be the same set. I forget what 4 moves I ran, but this is a Choice Scarf set with Analytic. Flip Turn, Ice Beam, Psychic Scald, 252 special attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed, Timid Nature, Scald, Psychic, good stab moves, hit most of the things. As I mentioned, a lot of the threats on Adam's team are physically defensive, not really specially defensive, so we can get some good shit. Scald, we can also get some good burns on some of those physical attackers like Scizor and Zygarde and Iron Hands. Ice Beam is really just to hit Zygarde. Zygarde is a big threat on this team. I kind of want to stress that Zygarde and Kilowattrel are really the 2 I'm the most scared of, so I really have a lot of things in place to deal with them specifically. Hopefully they're actually at the game, because that would be really unfortunate should we put this much prep into those 2 and they are not even there. Whatever though. Speaking of Kilowattrel answers, Gligar coming back off the bench. We have an Evilite set with Earthquake, Roost, Spikes, U-Turn, 248 HP, 8 attack, 4 defense, 248 special defense with a Careful Nature. I know I just said that this is a Kilowattrel answer. A lot of you are saying, Michael, you can't even touch Kilowattrel if it's in its natural typing. Sure. But if it does Terra, we can hit it with Earthquake, and as long as there's no HP investment or anything, Earthquake's pretty much a 2-hit KO. And if it's locked into something with a Choice Scarf, we can just keep firing off damage on it. Roost is to negate that damage. I did a lot of calcs specifically for the Choice Scarf Kilowattrel. Nothing can really even kill us with 2-hit KO. I think everything's a 3-hit KO. The only thing that could is if Kilowattrel surprises us and it's Terra Ice rather than Terra Fairy or Terra Ground like I believe it will be. The Spike is going to be a really big factor in a lot of my calcs. We are just outside killing a lot of things with some of these moves like Ice Beam on Tyranitar or Bolt Beak with Dracozolt on certain Pokemon on Adam's team. So if we can set up spikes, I think that's really going to help us in the long run just to get some good chip damage to secure some of these kills, because Lord knows we'll need him. The last Pokemon we're going to be bringing is a Pokemon we have not brought yet. He is coming off the bench for the first time, and that is going to be Shiinotic, a Pokemon that I did not speak very highly of in our draft analysis. However, he has a really good matchup this week. We're running a leftover set with Effect Spore, Moonblast, Spore, Strength Sap, Weather Ball, 248 HP, 252 defense, 8 special attack, a bold nature. While Gligar and Tyranitar deal with Kilowattrel and Chi-Yu, Shiinotic deals with Zygarde. We resist the 1,000 arrows, and since we're a fairy, we also resist any of the dragon moves. The only thing that could be really scary for us is Zygarde gets like some crazy amount of dragon dances up, and it's hitting us with some of its other moves in the move pool, like extreme speed or something. Highly doubt it, but we have the Moonblast, which is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. Spore to catch anything that wants to switch in on Shiinotic, whether it's Scizor or any of those other bulky Pokemon that could probably deal with it, like Chi-Yu or Scizor. Strength Sap serves the same role as Spore if any of those Pokemon switch in. Adem's whole team is very physically strong, so Strength Sap will get us a good amount of health back. And then lastly, we have Weather Ball to try and catch Chi-Yu off guard. We don't live a fire move from Chi-Yu, no matter what. But if I think Chi-Yu's gonna switch in predicting a grass move or something, yeah, maybe we'll catch it off guard with Weather Ball. It's also a nice thing for Kilowattrel if it's not Terran yet. The move pool is not that deep on Shiinotic, so I'm running what I got, and that's about it. So that's going to be the game for this week. This, as I mentioned, is probably the toughest matchup we've had so far, but we're sitting at 2-0 right now with a really good differential at plus 11. I don't think I've had a really good start to a season like this in a long time, so it's exciting. I'd like to keep the momentum going, but you never know when you're playing a tough team like this. So that being said, I will see all of you at the game.
Jaylen Brown is just noticing he's got his shorts on backwards.
We at the game, and we see Blastoise, Chi-Yu, Zygarde, Iron Hands, Bellossom, and Kilowattrel. Bellossom, Blastoise, wasn't expecting. Literally could not have even predicted, but like I said, there's so many things on Adam's team. I had no idea what was going to come and what wasn't. As far as a lead, I'm still kind of liking Gligar, getting up our spikes. I do not see any real hazard removal unless Blastoise is Rapid Spin. I mean, I really don't know. And then anything else we can kind of U-turn on or just switch out on. So I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to just go with Gligar and I'm going to get our spikes up to start this off. All right, we see Bellossom here. Do I think Bellossom just quiver dances? Probably. It's slow as hell though. Do I get up my spikes now or do I just U-turn on this bad boy? I'm gonna get my spikes up. I don't think you stay in here actually. I feel like you probably just go Blastoise. We just see the quiver dance. That's okay, because we can actually just U-turn now. I don't know if you quiver again. Yep, you quiver again. That's fine. Nah, you know what we're gonna do actually? We're gonna bring in Lopunny here. We're gonna Mega. He's still faster than you? I have no idea. Alright, so if this thing has Moonblast, it's a roll to kill. At +2. So I kind of want to get more chip on this. I'm gonna go for the Fake Out first. That's the play here. We'll Fake Out, flinch you. It's lefties, and then we live the Moonblast still. I'm gonna go for Triple Axle here. Triple Axle is probably our safest bet. If this does have Moonblast, it's a roll to kill, and if it does kill, that sucks. But we're gonna get this threat out of here. Giga Drain, a crit Giga Drain? Are you kidding me? That's unfortunate. That is so annoying. How much did Fake Out do before? 20%? You get back up there with that? That crit is unbelievably annoying. Do I need Lopunny here, or can I sack it and bring something else in here? Let me check something real quick. Oh, that's so annoying. We're going to let Lopunny die. That is my take on this. To the Giga Drain here. Yep. Get up. You're at 31. Oh my god. We should have U-turned on the first turn. This is not... Why am I blurry, by the way? I apologize. I'm blurry for this. That's fine. So here's the situation we're in. I can't kill this. Nothing actually kills this. I could have never predicted this. I think we're about to get 6-0'd by this potentially. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We need a crit. We quite literally need to fucking crit this thing. So we're going to bring in Tyranitar here. We are going to click Flamethrower, but Giga Drain just fucking heals it back up. See, this is what I'm talking about. Strength Sap. Wow, that still brings it up so high, even though we do not have any sort of physical. We have no investment and we're modest, so we are minus attack. So I'm impressed with so much. Do I think you quiver again, or do I think you just go for Giga Drain? I hope you actually attack me. No, you do that. Okay. Yep. This is not a good game, everyone. This is a really bad game. To get 6-0'd like this too is really unfortunate. We'll still be at +5, so we can turn things around on the season, but fucking Blossom of all things. Shout out to Adem though. That's good heat, you know? Certainly good heat. Oh, I should have switched into Draco's ult. Let's do this. Oh my gosh, you quivered. I could have never anticipated that. Alright, let's just see if you have whatever. Strength Sap. Nope, I don't think there is any sort of Moonblast. I think it's just raw Strength Sap here. I mean, Tyranitar is already gonna die, so whatever. Oh, it's Terra Ghost. Oh, brother. Hold on. Oh, yep, okay. I'm just typing GG. This game's over. We just got our asses kicked. Beyond no belief. Wow. Well, GG to Adem. That is crazy that I just got swept by Blossom of all things. I could have never anticipated that, but I'm telling you right now, that's Mons, man. You never know what's going to happen. You never know for team build and everything. This thing wasn't even on my radar and it just took out the whole team. So, good game to Adem. We will definitely have to bounce back next week after that performance. So, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Uh-oh, Richard!
Alrighty, my friend, I am all set. So, joining me right now is Adem. We just finished up our lovely little game that was very, you know, to the end, tooth and nail, good fight. Just to go over the sets, so what was the idea behind bringing the Blossom? Because as I told you in our battle spoilers chat, I did not anticipate Blossom. What was kind of your thought process behind bringing it?
Yeah, so when I was looking over the team, I was like, alright, he has a sand scene, he wants to do funny sand stuff. I was looking, I'm like, Blossom with Tyra could be very good here. Mainly because of Strength Sap, because your first three mods you see is Mega Lopunny, Tyranitar, Draco's ult. All three of those, if you get 2 Strength Saps on them, you're going to gain a lot back since they have such high attack stats. Then on top of that, you're going to heal and just be in a good situation where now they can't really do too much damage. Where if I get some Strength Saps off on those mons, now this thing can either quiver dance or it can just set up something else to come in more cleanly.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. That's kind of a similar idea to what I had going on, where a lot of your team I notice is also very physically offensive. It's not really special attackers. I had the Shiinotic for a lot of your physical answers. I had the Effect Spore. That way, if you were attacking with Iron Hands or even a Bullet Punch from Scizor, I would be able to live 1 with the bulk I had and maybe just get something off on you, whether it's paralysis, a sleep, a toxic. I'm sad I didn't get to see the other things. You know, my biggest fear when I was playing you, building for this game, was Scarfed Kilo. So I was afraid you were going to be Scarf Kilo to be faster than the whole team, because you would be faster than Draco's ult in the sand. You would have the Volt Absorb to take the Bolt Beaks, and if you ran Terra Fairy, you could just shut down Draco's ult altogether. Like, it would just be null and void in front of Kilowattrel. So I'm interested to see that it was specs and it was wind power instead, actually. Was wind power intentional? Oh, you just... Alright, not intentional, not intentional.
Because my plan was, I never wanted to Terra the Kilowattrel here. Like, it was good in the matchup in theory. My issue was getting it in clean, and then you having Petra on also made it more annoying, where you're going to be spamming Malignant Chain with that thing around. That's why I also went Terra Ghost Blossom, so that move is now resisted instead of super effective. Kind of just flip it.
Okay, I was going to ask about the Terra Ghost as well, so it was specifically for the Petra run.
That was part of it. Also, I just wanted a way to hit everything on your team with just 2 moves. Ghost Grass hits everything on your team.
Yeah.
Neutral damage.
Blossom gets Moonblast, correct? That was what I kept thinking. I was like, is he gonna run Moonblast to hit Tyranitar? Like, is that the other big move? Like Tyranitar, Draco's ult. Like, in my head, I kept thinking the fairy, and then I saw the strengths happen, and I was like, oh my gosh. That just shows you how much of an underrated threat Blossom is, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, like, this thing could quiver, it could get a little ugly, but, like, I think I could handle it. And it totally just snowballed, and I was like, this thing is a total threat. I have nothing for this. I'm sitting here calcing, you're at like 31 HP. I'm like, okay, my Choice Scarf Star means still faster, but how much is it doing? 27 is the max roll, and you're at like 31 HP. I was like, this is not looking good. I was like, this is not looking good.
No, I know. The thing was, it was just... My thing was, I also didn't expect you to bring Starmie to this game, and I just didn't like its matchup into me. I thought maybe you'd bring other stuff. That was like part of my planning, because I felt like Starmie I can handle with what I had. And I also built a very offensive team. Like, I won't lie. Like, this team doesn't have a lot of defense. It's really...
No, it is like, yep, it is all offense. You do have the Iron Hands. I was expecting that to come just because it can do so many different things. It is just such a great naturally bulky Pokemon that you can kind of do a lot of things with it. I was expecting maybe like an Assault Vest set. Something to take hits from Starmie and some Psychics or something like that, as well as Shiinotic take Moonblast from that. The other thing I was really thinking, I already told you this in battle spoilers, was Wobbuffet. Because I was like, Chi-Yu honestly does fairly well against my team if Tyranitar is out of its way. So that's why I ran Special Tyranitar, because I was expecting Wobbuffet to come in, trap Tyranitar, and counter it, because it's normally, physical. And that's why I was all special, because I was like, well, if I'm special, it can't hit me with Magic Bounce or Mirror Coat. I forget the name of the move right now. And it also hits Scizor and Orthworm, which are weaker on that special side.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes perfect sense, honestly. Like, again, Special T-Tower is a great bring. It just didn't work out here just because of the Blossom.
Yep, this random Blossom showed up and just quivered up in my face. It's so funny. I said on turn 1, I led Gligar because I needed that spike to get a lot of Okos on things on your team. So I was like, I need this spike, but I also think this thing could just start quivering right now. I was like, do I U-turn now before it gets too bad? And then I was like, no, I'm getting greedy. I'm going to get the spike up. And then I was like, oh man, this isn't good.
That one spike cost you the entire game.
It seriously did. And I was sitting there contemplating at one point because I was like, he's thinking about this right now. I was like, he very well may start quiver dancing.
It was funny. When I saw the lead, I was like, okay, we quiver dance at least once. If we get some hazards, we go for a second and that's be low funny and then put you in a bad spot.
I haven't calculated yet. I don't know how much that crit actually mattered, the Giga Drain crit.
How much bulk did you have on it?
I had 80 HP on it.
The thing was, I'm pretty sure I always lived thanks to my bulk I had. I know I always two-shot Mega Wop from full just with the calcs.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you right now. 80, Giga Drain's doing 52 to 61. What was my HP at? I was at 60?
Somewhere around there. It was like 60 to, I think 71 to 60 or something. I can look at the replay, actually.
Yeah, the only reason the crit would matter is if it put me out of range of triple axle to kill.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
The only thing.
because I wasn't sure if with the regular Giga Drain, if that still would have put you in enough health to live the triple axle, or God forbid I missed the triple axle. That was another fear I had. Yeah, you were at 65 HP.
I was at 65. With my calc, I would gain 25%. So it would be like you'd have to min roll the triple axle for me to live. Yeah, that was a roll in your favor. That's why I said that was the crit I felt bad for.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in the end game where it was just everything dying.
Yeah. The one at the end is irrelevant. Also, the one in the beginning, too. You can't be too mad. Like I said, it's Mons. This shit happens. You know what I mean? You're gonna get crit. You're gonna get para-flinched. It's just the game. You can't be upset about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like week 1 in this league, my Blastoise was paralyzed for 3 times in a row. I was like, yeah, this happens. That's how the game goes.
No, literally, you have to just sit there and take it. There's nothing you can do. It's a game of chance, and sometimes these things just occur.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to have fun with it. Sometimes you get to have fun by having a low tier Munchine. Sometimes you get to just do it with your bread and butter. You never know.
Yep. How'd you feel about the Zygarde matchup? Because Zygarde was the other really big threat I was scared of, which is the reason Shiinotic actually came off the bench for this week.
I mean, again, my thinking was once Mega Lopunny's dead, Zygarde could just sweep because Skitter Smack 1000 Arrows is just funny since I was Max Spadef Coil because once I get one coil up or if I hit something with the Skitter Smack of your special attackers, they really can break a sub.
Yeah, Skitter Smack is a really cool bring. I didn't even know you got Skitter Smack.
Yeah, people forget that because the thing was the way you would wall Zygarde before Gen 8 was you bring in your bulky grass type and you would just hard wall because it doesn't have a way to hit you outside of special moves. And special Zygarde wasn't as good just because it didn't have as good of coverage.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like nowadays, with Zygarde having Sludge Wave and Focus Blast, you could legitimately bring a special Zygarde 50 set, which I've done before.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I've brought a special Torterras at week 1 against Superbench. Like, sometimes running unconventional is conventional. It works.
Yeah, sometimes it just throws your opponent off, and it could just work, as strange as it sounds.
Yeah, 100%. The Mirror Chi-Yu is a really cool set. Obviously for the Torterra, should it have showed up in Shell Smashed. Covert Cloak, excuse me. That's an item I'm starting to see a lot of people bring against me. It's just really good for the Malignant Chain. It helps out so much.
Yeah, this was for both Malignant Chain and for endgame fake out. That way you can't just fake out into CC. If I'm set up. Because fake out secondary effect is it flinches you.
Flinches. Okay. That's really cool. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that was my way of thinking. Okay, if I have the sweep, like the setup off, would I be able to sweep now? It's Mega Lob fake outs could chip me into range of something else, like of a killing with it, or not like that. It kind of blocks it off. And
yeah, that is really cool tech. I'm trying to see what else we got here. We've gone over Blastoise and the Chi-Yu, Zygarde, Iron Hands, the Volt Switch, the classic Volt Switch. I love that thing gets, yeah, it's super good. I used Iron Hands in an Ubers League I played in. Not the one that you and Byram ran. It was another one that another coach in ETA runs, United. He also has a Ubers League. And that thing is great. Like, heavily slept on for some reason. I think that's why it's UUBL. Because some people are like, oh, Iron Hands, whatever. But then people use it and they're like, this thing is really good. I'm like, yeah, it has a great move pool. Quark Drive is just great for all the future Paradox mons, because even if you run Quark Drive Attack on that thing, it is so hard to find an answer to switch into it, because it has a lot of great coverage.
Yeah, it really does. Just, you know, the thing is with it, it's, people say, oh, it's the depth stat is so horrible, it's only 68, but then the HP stat is the reason why he's just so bulky, because
That's what I'm saying.
you don't have to invest in it.
There were so many calcs I was running against Iron Hands this week, and I'm like, it is stupid how fat this thing is. Like, even no investment Gligar and Earthquake, which is a super effective move, is doing like 20-ish%. It's like just barely a 5-hit KO. I'm like, that is so stupid how fat this thing is. Same, I don't even think you had to be AV to live a Psychic from Starmine either. If you were just max HP, like, you could have lived too.
Yeah, I could have. The thing was, like, my thing was, I wasn't sure if you were even going to bring Starmie here. That's kind of why, like, you see, my Blastoise set doesn't have a way to hit it, because I did not expect it to come.
Mm-hmm.
If it did came, my plan was just chip it and get in range of Blastoise, like, if need be.
Solid plan, yeah. The reason I brought Starmine was just to be faster than some things. In case Kilo wasn't Scarfed, I could be faster than the whole team. Another thing was I thought maybe Sneasel could come. I was like, Choice Scarf Sneasel is honestly a pretty reasonable bring. Like, I would not have been surprised. Although I do think you could have struggled with Pecharunt. I think that's the only problem you could have encountered with that. And speaking of Pecharunt, he was on the starter list until about like 2 hours ago, when I was so stressed out about Kilo that I was like, I'm bringing Evilite Gligar, specially defense invested. I was like, I need something other than Tyranitar to stop Kilo.
That's fair. Sometimes it happens to all of us where you get too fixated on one mon and you're thinking, how do I deal with it? How do I, like, wall it? And then you go to the game and they don't even bring it. So it's like, I did all this prep for nothing. And it's hard. It's the best way I think of it when prepping is think of the team as a whole and which, like, core would work best against what you have.
Absolutely.
I see it.
Yeah, no, it's really good team building advice, because like you said, you can get super tunnel vision on something, and then if it's not even there, you may now have one or two Pokemon built around something you're thinking you're going to play and it's not even there. And you're like, well, now these are just useless. So it is good to try and include a little bit of everything for everyone.
Obviously, you're not going to be able to cover everything a team can.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Too much randomness.
That's the thing. It's Mons. You never know what the hell is going to happen. You never know what your opponent's going to bring. Your opponent's never going to know what you're bringing. Like, and that's kind of what I love about the game. I love the surprise element. I love seeing someone run something and it brings you a lot of joy, and I'm sure you can relate to this as an owner of a league. It is super cool to see the coaches in your server playing and they do something so creative and out of the box where you're like, I love that. Like, that is awesome. It is just really cool to see people utilizing all the tools that the Pokemon actually get.
Oh man, absolutely. Like, I love when people get creative with their sets that bring new things and stuff for me to even learn, because I've been playing this game for a while, but when I see them bring a new set, something creative that they really calc for, it's just so interesting to me.
Yeah, it's awesome.
One thing I love seeing, though, is seeing people grow, like, in the community as well. Just, you see how someone was playing before and then just seeing them grow as a player. That's something I've grown to enjoy a lot.
Yeah, it is a really nice feeling, especially because you have people who stick in the server for a really long time and you build a nice community of people who just enjoy playing the game. Like, I know so many servers that shut down after a season, 2 seasons, because things just fall apart. You don't get the right people. So it really is kind of a blessing to have a solid group of guys, which I'm very grateful that you could have joined us this season. I talked a little bit about that before in my video. I'm sad your brother couldn't make it. I invited him too, but I understand you guys are busy. So I do appreciate you taking the time to join the league this season.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I'm very grateful you guys invited me and my brother. Like, I'm sure he would have loved to play. It's just, times have been tough for both of us where we haven't had time, especially running our own league, making sure everything's in order there. But I'm glad I'm able to have time to play here and just hang out with some cool people.
I appreciate it, man. Is there anything else you want to plug?
Go join SGBL.
Join SGBL. Great guys over there. Awesome league. Awesome people. Go check out the YouTube channel too.
I promise to revive the YouTube channel. Just give us some time.
Yeah, for sure. No, I get it, man. You got life and you got league. It happens. But when you guys fire it back up, you got to get me and Mayo on the podcast. We'd love to be on there.
Absolutely. That's definitely on the list right there.
All right, I'm going to call it there. I will see you guys next week for the next video. Adam, thank you again for joining me today. Really appreciate it, man. Great game.
Yeah, great game, man. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, you too.